Adventurous kids explore with education and learning what a wild life is in the Everglades. I want to explore the museum of discovering science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West. Adventurous kids, learning and fun. Adventurous kids!
Today I'm going to tell you about daylight saving time. Daylight saving time in the United States and summertime in the United Kingdom, European Union, and others is the practice of advancing clocks during summer months so that evening daylight lasts longer while sacrificing normal sunrise times. There's no such thing as daylight savings time, it's only daylight saving time. Daylight saving time begins at 2 a.m. local time on the second Sunday in March when clocks spring or goes forward an hour. Daylight saving time ends at 2 a.m. local time on the first Sunday in November when clocks fall or go back by an hour. In most of the countries of Western Europe, including the countries that are members of the European Union, daylight saving time begins at 1 a.m. GMT on the last Sunday of March and ends at 1 a.m. GMT on the last Sunday of October. Daylight saving time helps stores that sell to people after they get off work, but it hurts farmers and others whose hours are set by the sun. It cuts traffic accident rates. Sometimes it can reduce energy costs, but it can also increase them. Also, some studies show that it can reduce traffic accidents during the early evening rush hour drops during daylight saving time. One reason for this could be that people don't have to drive home in the dark when they're tired after a long day of work. Ancient civilizations adjusted daily schedules to the sun more flexibly than DST does, often dividing daylight into 12 hours regardless of daytime so that each daylight hour became progressively longer during spring and shorter during autumn. For example, the Romans kept time with water clocks that had different scales for different months of the year. At Rome's latitude, the third hour from sunrise started at 9:02 solar time and lasted 44 minutes at the winter solstice. But at the summer solstice, it started at 6:58 and lasted 75 minutes. By the time Benjamin Franklin was a 78-year-old American envoy in Paris in 1784, the man who espoused the virtues of early to bed and early to rise was not practicing what he preached. After being unpleasantly stirred from sleep at 6 a.m. by the summer sun, the founding father penned a satirical essay in which he calculated that Parisians, simply by waking up at dawn, could save the modern-day equivalent of $200 million through the economy of using sunshine instead of candles. While on an early morning horseback ride around the desolate skirts of London in 1905, William Willett had an epiphany that the United Kingdom should move its clocks forward by 80 minutes between April and October so that more people could enjoy the plentiful sunlight. The Englishman established the 1907 brochure, The Waste of Daylight, and spent much of his personal fortune evangelizing with missionary zeal for the adoption of summertime. Year after year, however, the British Parliament stymied the measure, and Willett died in 1915 at age 58 without ever seeing his idea come to fruition. It took World War I for Willett's dream to come true, but on April 30th, 1916, Germany embraced daylight saving time to conserve electricity. Weeks later, the United Kingdom followed suit and introduced summertime. Contrary to popular belief, American farmers did not lobby for daylight saving to have more time to work in the fields. In fact, the agriculture industry was deeply opposed to the time switch when it was first implemented on March 31, 1918 as a wartime measure. The sun, not the clock, dictated farmers' schedules, so daylight saving was very disruptive. Not everyone in the United States springs forward and falls back. Hawaii and Arizona, with the exception of the state's Navajo Nation, do not observe daylight saving time, and the U.S. territories of American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands also remain on standard time year-round. Some Amish communities also choose not to participate in daylight saving time. Iceland, Russia, and some parts of Ukraine and Belarus are countries in Europe without daylight saving time. Federal law was amended in 1986 to begin daylight saving time on the first Sunday in April. Under legislation enacted in 1986, daylight saving time in the U.S. began at 2 a.m. on the first Sunday of April and ended at 2 a.m. on the last Sunday of October. That schedule remained in place until 2007. The Energy Policy Act of 2005 extended daylight saving time in the U.S. beginning in 2007, though Congress retained the right to revert to the 1986 law should the change prove unpopular or if energy savings are not significant and we switch to the current March to November schedule. Thanks for watching this Adventurous Kids episode.